while we have you, also the good work that Pole has been doing, like towards this race.
Well, you know, it's been quite strange because Mark had these 3 crashes, and we have to try to understand why. Because this crash from today was brutal, and frankly speaking, we need to analyze. You know, they brought here a different tire, and we have to understand everything. And at this moment it's difficult because our rider crashed, and we want to understand. So I don't think I can give you any precise info at this moment, but finally he had a massive crash, and we decided it was not correct under the circumstances after this concussion in the head to bring him to the track. So we all agreed, and that's why he will not race. Regarding Paul, now, you know, everything changed. We have been here always with good weather, and suddenly we have a thunderstorm, so it's like completely new paper. We start from zero, and I think the rain, the wet races are different, and you need a special ability for this. Some guys take more risk, but it's very important to see the real condition of the track, because if it's wet, it's one thing. If it's a river, it's unrideable. And then I think the guys that are checking the track must decide whether it's safe or not.
One last thing about Pole, looking from the outside, he looks to be working really methodically, like he's having some difficulties, but he seems to be working well. Look, watching from the outside, you know, trying to get there, trying not to make mistakes. I would like to hear from your side how you think he's working.
Yeah, he's trying to do this, as you say. He's trying to stay cool and calm, even in the difficult times. And yeah, this is the target for this year. He knows he has the speed. He knows the bike is better than last year for him. So it's a matter of trying to stay cool when the situation is not easy. This weekend they brought a tire that is not fitting us. It was unexpected. So in the test he was super fast, and in the Grand Prix here he was not so fast. But he's trying to stay calm, but now with this story, it's another page.
Alberto, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. Thanks to Repsol Honda team manager Alberto Puig for coming to talk to us there after that horrible crash which has sidelined Marc Marquez from this Grand Prix. There is further updates then on the bottom of your screens. I'm sure you saw that during Simon's chat with Alberto Puig. These current track conditions at the moment means we have a further delay. We were hoping to have the pit lane open at 14:55 p.m. local time for a 15-minute start procedure, hoping to get the race underway at around 15:10 local time, but that is currently not possible as the BMW safety car and yet more claps of thunder punish our eardrums in our headsets here. We've seen some lightning bolts off into the distance as well at the moment. Tranmere, the 2021 MotoGP World Champion, he's looking all pretty relaxed about it, isn't he?
Happiest he's looked all weekend, isn't it? As you can see, the standing water, that's slightly off the racetrack. That's in between turns, the inside of turns 6 and 7.
You see that through there, Lewis, that even the four wheels of the BMW safety car, it was hitting standing water and starting to aquaplane. So let's hope and pray that we get some kind of break in this torrential rain, which at the moment has forced the delayed start of our first Indonesian Grand Prix in 25 years. We've waited so long. The Indonesian fans have waited so long for this moment, and unfortunately the weather not playing ball right now. Of course, we're in a tropical climate, tropical part of the world. We can have weather conditions like this, but to fall just 40 minutes away from the scheduled start of the MotoGP race, it feels so sorry for the fans. They've come out in their droves. Yeah, that's what you need, isn't it? You need flippers and a snorkel for Mandalika right now.
Fabio Quartararo set to start this Grand Prix from pole position. We saw a short moments ago at Marco Bezzecchi, who's due to start from 13th on the grid. What a good weekend he's been having, although his qualifying session perhaps didn't end as he'd intended, of course, with the crash in Q1, when he was certainly fancying his chances of getting through into the top 12. I think he's impressed us all right throughout his short fledgling MotoGP career so far. He was generally the fastest rookie in pre-season testing. He was leading the rookie challenge by quite some margin in Qatar before crashing out of that Grand Prix. And then, of course, right throughout the weekend, he's looked pretty good. In FP4, of course, he was fastest for a lot of that session before being pipped in the end by Franco Morbidelli, and a crash in Q1 denied him the chance to compete in the top 12. But he's certainly a rider who's shown in the past that he's got a level of wet weather ability, and he's shown over the course of his MotoGP career, of course, just how much talent he's got.
Let's quickly pop down for some more reaction right now to the current state of play here in Mandalika. Sadly, we're not building up to, 5 minutes away from the race start, as we'd hoped to do at this stage. It's been a pretty difficult weekend for the factory Suzuki team, with problems with rear grip for Juan Mir. Alex Rins climbing off his sickbed to get himself on that third row of the grid. Let's hear the thoughts of Suzuki ex-star boss Livio Supo. Down with Simon.
Yeah, for the recent MotoGP fans, Livio will be new, but Livio was around a lot of years before and has a lot of experience, seen a lot of things. Livio, can you tell us what the team is going through at the moment and how the weekend's been going until now?
Well, in reality, there's nothing more we can do than wait. Wait and see what happens. Clearly, the track at the moment is not in a condition you can race. We are waiting information from the Premierta. But really, of course, bikes are already set up for the wet, but there's nothing you can really do at the moment.
When you say bikes, you change both machines for both riders, or you change just one?
One, but then we will see.
Okay. And Livio, the weekend until now, I spoke to you in warm-up this morning, but it was a little short chat. Can you tell us, the listeners, how it's been going until now for Suzuki? And did you find the answer you were looking for in warm-up? I know you'd made some setup changes, especially to Juan Mir's machine.
Yeah, let's say that the new rear structure of the tire has had an influence, especially on John's riding style. I think at the end is more a riding style than bikes. That's my feeling, personal feeling. This morning he improved the feeling, so sure is an improvement comparing with Friday and Saturday. While Alex, the position on the grid is not perfect, but his feeling was never bad. This morning he changed the bike. He tested in the second exit. He tested with a medium tire. It didn't feel good. So now, anyway, we should have started with a softer if it were sunny. But also, I think both have potential to do better than expected. That's my feeling.
Okay. Livio, thank you for your time.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks to Simon. Thanks to Livio Supo. As you can see there at the bottom of your screen, is a pit lane open, delayed due to weather conditions. We just popped into the Tech 3 KTM garage and saw Remy Gardner's logo that he carries around with him on his chest plate. He's a surf dude, isn't he, from Australia, Remy? And at the moment, that's probably what you need, a bit of surfing kit out here in Mandalika. Raul Fernandez, been a tough start, a bit of a baptism of fire, I guess you could say, in MotoGP. It was always going to be the level in MotoGP now, so competitive, so tough, not just in terms of closeness from the machinery, but the closeness in the talent of the riders as well. And tough start to finish last in the season opener in Qatar. When you think how awesome, how fantastic Raul Fernandez was in Moto2 last year, he said he's got to sort of recalibrate his brain to understand that it is going to take time. He has got to be patient, although patience is not a character virtue you normally associate with professional motorcycle racing, is it?
No, and the rookies specifically have got a bit of experience, not just this weekend, but generally in the wet conditions. We did have a bit of wet weather, as you can imagine, in the part of the world that they were testing at Sepang in the first pre-season test. We saw rain on the final afternoon of the three-day test there, and the rookies, with the exception of Fabio Di Gianantonio, who was slightly unwell at that point, they all got some track time in the wet conditions. So they do have a level of experience in those conditions, which they'll be hoping to put to good use today. Well, what can we expect from the factory Aprilia team if we do get underway in these wet conditions? Of course, Aleix Espargaro, he starts pretty well up. Of course, he starts 10th. Maverick Vinales way down in 19th, but wet conditions could provide them with an opportunity.
Really impressive, and I've been saying on our shows that I believe now that the rest of the paddock, there'll be quite a few riders genuinely interested in riding your machine. I think it's got to the level now, it's proving to be competitive everywhere. I'd really like to get your thoughts on it.
Well, thanks first of all, Simon. It's nice to have this kind of feeling, and it's nice that you guys have this kind of feeling. I think that, if there are some riders interested, that's fine, but we have also very good two riders, and I hope to keep them for the few years, I hope so. By the way, every year we are doing a small step forward. We are getting closer and closer. Still, it's not enough. And once we will reach the top, for sure, it won't be enough, because everybody are pushing like hell every year and actually every race. So I'm confident. We are working fine. We need to get Maverick getting the feeling. As actually today in the warm-up, he got the right feeling. He was P2, but also the rhythm he had was quite good. Aleix was as well also very, very good and consistent. So, to be honest, for today I was hoping for a long, dry race. It doesn't look like it's going to be like that, but let's see. I mean, we are ready. I mean, we know that we are part of the game. We are in the game, and we want to play.
I saw Maverick had 2 setups one on each bike, and was it a setup change that helped him find the feeling he wanted?
Yeah, we did a setup change today to try to get a better feeling, and it worked. I think now Maverick is in a phase where we need to get his feeling before getting the best possible bike. First we need to get his feeling, and this morning it worked. So it's a bit of a pity that he cannot prove during the race that the changes were fine on a dry condition, but we'll see. At least we did a step for sure.
Last question is, have you used this latest machine in the wet before?
No, never. I don't think many of us did it, so... Well, if we manage to race at some point today, I think it's going to be very interesting.
Massimo, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
Yeah, we should actually congratulate Aleix Espargaro on the subject of Aprilia. Aleix Espargaro, if you've been following him on social media earlier this week, he sent out a bit of a call to arms to the Indonesian fans to try and get him over the 1 million Instagram followers mark. He promised to give away his helmet, almost to the point to throw it into the crowd if he made it. He started the week